Hey everyone, I'm Noble Absinthe and welcome back to my Samurai Jack Retrospective. Today we're on episode 14 and the first episode of season 2. Jack learns to jump good. Let's get started. Well, we start this episode off with a good old cock block. Jack is cutting through some beetle bots to make his way to a time portal when at the very last second, Aku snatches it away. After taunting Jack into defeat, Jack goes into the forest to grab some grub. Well, he would if this guy didn't snatch it from him and cause Jack to run into a branch. Feeling remorse for stealing Jack's dinner, he apologizes. Ladies and gents, I give you the key line to this episode.
I have never seen man fly.
I know fly. Jump good.
Jack's impressed and would like to learn how to jump good. The monkey man, this character has no name, brings Jack to his tribe. Jack is told his backstory about how he was a young slave, and how he was saved by these blue monkeys, and was taught how to jump good. Jack and the gang all get some grub to eat, and everything is great until the rival tribe of red gorillas come in to take their food away. Turns out these little guys live in fear of these gorillas. They're a peaceful race. They're not fighters. So Jack decides to step in and put the gorillas in their place. The gorillas flee in fear, and the blue monkeys are happy once again. But defending the innocent for only a short term doesn't mean they're going to be free forever. This leads into a trade between Jack and the blue monkeys. Self-defense lessons for jump good lessons. We get ourselves our first montage. Jack holds up his side of the bargain by teaching the monkeys how to make traps and use weapons, and they catch on really fast. Now it's time for Jack to learn how to jump good, and this montage is one of my absolute favorites. Jack learns how to move around with heavy weights, making Goku and Piccolo's weighted clothing look like a joke. It takes Jack a while to catch on, but once he gets it, he masters how to jump good. My favorite scene in this entire episode has to be the moment where Jack takes his first jump. It's an awe-inspiring moment. The music has this very uplifting and yet suspenseful feel to it. And then, when Jack lifts off the ground, the music becomes incredibly upbeat, and he goes nuts and starts jumping around for fun. I think it's one of the few times we get to see Jack really overcome with joy. He feels so free, and it's just an amazing sequence. I've never, ever watched this scene without having a smile on my face. After the two show their gratitude towards one another, Jack leaves, and the scene shifts over to the blue monkeys defending their home from the red gorillas. It's their time to shine. And like you'd expect, they kick ass. They use all the teachings given to them by Jack and cause a huge commotion. Jack hears this and runs back to check on their safety, only to find out that they're doing just fine. The gorillas are primed into a giant slingshot, and to instill a little bit more fear into their hearts, Monkey Man shoves some food in their mouths before they're sent flying. The blue monkeys are victorious, and Jack leaves proud. We then flash forward to a familiar scene, a redo of the first scene in the episode where Jack comes so close to a time portal. Aku then reappears and again snatches the portal away from Jack. But this time, Jack catches him by surprise. Aku then shouts if he can now fly, and Jack responds,
No, jump good.
Well, this episode is definitely a classic, and I think most Samurai Jack fans can agree with that. It's one of those feel-good episodes and a gold standard for the series. Hell, it can be one of those endings if you were really looking for it if Season 5 wasn't a thing. I've seen people online complain about how Jack did not get into the time portal. We can chalk that up to Aku breaking it, which is kinda lame, but that's a really microscopic blemish on what I think is a nearly perfect episode. Whenever I think of Samurai Jack, this is one of those episodes that just comes to mind immediately. Expect this one to be on the top list of episodes that I personally love. I just love the premise of this episode. Jack is saving a group that can't defend themselves by giving them the tools to defend themselves. That alone would be good enough for an episode, but here we get something a little bit extra. Jack learning a new skill, how to jump good. This skill is also not exclusive to this episode. This jump good ability is canon. We see this newfound agility in later episodes and in Season 5. Also, this Monkey Man, although he's not a reoccurring character like the Scotsman, we do get to see him again in a memory in another episode I personally love to death. I can't really nitpick this episode since it's so good. I love the design of the monkeys and the gorillas, the red versus blue imagery that they set up. I love the setting up of the traps and their execution. Jack's montage with the boulder is one of the most iconic in the series for me. Again, I haven't been able to watch this scene without a smile. And in the end, Jack gets to beat the crap out of Aku. Albeit, off screen. Any shenanigans with the time portal are just an afterthought for me. I know I used the image of Aku cock-blocking Jack from going back in time with this scene right here, but this episode wasn't really about Jack making it back in time. It was about helping out a group that didn't know how to defend themselves. Unlike episodes like Jack and the Warrior Woman, where the whole point of the episode is just to spit in Jack's face, this episode had it as a typical joke. But it really had a satisfying end though. This episode is a one-off that gave us a new ability for Jack, and gave us a very good encapsulated story. It's definitely a gold standard for what Samurai Jack episodes should be when it comes off to one-offs. It was a simple concept for an episode, but it has a lot of weight to it. It wasn't a convoluted mess like another episode I've reviewed. It gave us memorable and lovable characters and montages. As a side note, after watching some Season 5, it's nice to see the contrast that it's making with the original series. Season 5 has fans overthinking every episode, but this episode is a nice feel-good episode. Sure, there's some things you could nitpick, like the collar that Monkey Man was attached to, whatever happened to this giant tree-eating machine, and the time portal, but I don't think you have to delve deeper. The core of this episode is what matters, and it's very strong. It's a simple message that we're given, and it just rolls with it. I have nothing else to say, but this episode had no monkey business in it. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you like what you saw, please feel free to subscribe and tick that chime next to it to stay updated. Likes and shares are always super nice, and I do read every comment. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.